to Madden 19 on EA Sports.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Don Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Found a little room last week, Charles, in their loss. Had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked.
And right away, he lost the football. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule. Where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line, making the big-time play.
And this is going to be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And they'll run it here. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. They'll drop the throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. He'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 30. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Orakpo in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play call, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. And San Francisco gets set to go here. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
21.
They run it with McKinnon. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
Here we go. Hurry up.
Hauling in is Kittle. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 12
like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. On play action, now Garoppolo. And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up 4th.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC, and it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.